Welcome to the cheesecloth channel.
Today we're going to show you how we make our homemade almond milk and our almond flour. I bought a package of dry raw almonds that were plain with no salt, had not been roasted or blanched or anything like that. And I bought it from Dollar General, a can of them. I think it was 6 ounces. It was about $3.25. I put 1 cup of that container in a jar, and I filled it up about an inch or two, or about 2 inches above where the almonds were in the jar, and I let it soak overnight for about 8 to 12 hours. And now I'm going to drain off this soap water. Okay, move over here to the blender. I'm going to stick all these in here after the water's been drained off. Okay, then I'm going to add 4 cups of water to it. I'm using artesian well water, but you can use tap water if it's filtered or something. It's not a problem. A piece of almond in here. Okay, so I'm adding 4 cups of water to this. We'll go ahead and blend it up. Just a wide mouth jar, and then my little coffee thing, and then just a piece of fabric. This is like a bird's eye cloth diaper thing, but it has not been used on a baby's hiney. And so I've just used it for filtering stuff. They're the ones that are not, oh goodness, they're not the pre-fold, but the other kind. I can't remember. So anyway, but you could use muslin or several layers of cheesecloth. I just prefer this because I can rewash it and use it on other things. Muslin works great though too. So I'm just straining it through, and look down here, I've got the milk. And some people like to sweeten theirs. We don't buy we buy unsweetened almond milk, and some people like to sweeten it with honey, or maybe some dates that have been pitted, or maybe even add vanilla to it. You like that? So we're just using it for smoothies and things, baking with it. So, and chai tea, one of our favorites.
Yes.
And so once it gets kind of where it's slowing down, I'm just straining out the pulp of the almonds right now. Then I may lift it up some to kind of speed the process up. Yeah. And just do a little bit at a time, making sure not to go over the cloth. Pretty neat, especially if you're in a pinch and you have a Dollar General near you. You can go run up there and get you some almonds and make your own almond milk. Whereas we live out in the country, so it's
off-grid. Off-grid almond milk.
So well, I guess it is off. Well, the power of the blender.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Well, we're off-grid though. We're using it, but it's nice to be able to know now that I can do this and not have to run all the way 30-45 minutes into town to get some almond milk. I can just do it right at home. And then when you're done straining off all the pulp, eventually, you can take the almond and pulp or whatever, and put it on a baking sheet. And I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to experiment with this, and I'll let y'all know how it turns out. But and then you can spread it out on a sheet pan and put it in the oven for several hours on really low temperature, maybe 115 degrees. and leave it in there until it dries out completely, and then you're going to run it back through your food processor or your blender until it gets a powdery consistency, and you've got almond flour. You can use that for anything.
That
baking.
is very expensive.
Yeah, almond flour is very expensive, but I love the idea that we can use the almonds for, you know, 2 different things. We got almond milk and we got almond flour, so it's not going to be thrown in the trash or thrown out to the chickens or whatever. It can be used. Of course, that's not wasteful anyway.
Please excuse the noise. It's just the kiddos having a good time.
And then I'm just going to go in and scrape the bottom of it, and I'll let gravity do the work. Kind of like making cheese. And after it's strained out mostly, the bulk of it, then you're going to take it and make sure you gather all the corners so you don't let any pulp escape. And you're just going to kind of put your hands around it and do a twist, and more almond milk is going to come out. And you just want to get it as dry as possible, because when you go to dry it out in your oven, it's going to take a lot longer if you don't have it dried as much as you can. And also, they say that you could open the oven door while, you know, leave it open a little bit so that moisture can escape. But since we got a little one running around, I won't be doing that. But if you had a dehydrator, that would work too. See all that goodness coming out? It's like making homemade.
Yum yum.
Reminds me of making cheese.
Yep.
You don't want to waste all that. Now you got a whole, actually it's just over a quart, because it's almost filled to the rim. Probably could have used a bigger container, but it'll be fine. There you go. Right to the fridge. It's cool.
That's what I'm talking about.
Also, it only keeps for about 4 days in the refrigerator. That's why I only made it a quart at a time, because you know you don't want it to go bad. So anyway, because there's no preservatives in it, so no preservatives in it, so
and no carcinogens.
Yeah, no carcinogens, no extra fake vitamins and things added into it. It's just straight up in the raw.
That's right.
So I took the almond pulp from last night and today. I spread it out on a sheet pan like this, and I stuck it in the oven on about 150. It took about 8 hours to dehydrate. But whatever about your lowest temperature is on your oven. We have propane, so and I have a thermometer in there, so it tells. So anyway, I checked it every so often, every couple hours, and see if it was dry, and it finally dried out. So now I'm taking it, scraping it from the pan, and I'm gonna put it into this blender here and grind it up and make almond flour, and that's it. Takes a little bit longer. Ready for making some muffins or whatever.
Cool.
Even a cake, probably.